I really wanted this to be a YouTube short, but it may end up being longer. I brought up the topic in an earlier video of us being programmed when it comes to life insurance, and how for centuries, we as Black people have equated life insurance as just something that just pays for the funeral. And that brings me to a conversation that I literally just had about 20 minutes ago with the client. Her exact words were, I got $10,000 and that's all I wanted. Now y'all thinking, well, Maurice, that's all she wanted, leave her alone. I did leave her alone, but I wanted to use her conversation as a teachable moment for anybody that's looking or thinking about what are their options to get life insurance for their parents or for their grandparents. And definitely if that's something that they never even thought about. It never fails. When other people have these conversations, they talking about $1 million policies, $500,000 policies, trusts, wills, and all these different things, that's okay. The moment the conversation gets brought up in our household, then the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is greed. And that's really why I do these videos, because it's super important for us to have these delicate and very uncomfortable conversations with each other. If your parents or grandparents are older and they have health conditions, typically the max that they can get on them is about $35,000. But I say that to say because $10,000 is just simply not enough. The annual rate of inflation in this country is about 8%. Which simply means if you're 60 or 70 right now and live for another 20 years, that $10,000 is not going to be $10,000 by the time you leave this earth. I get it. Something is better than nothing. But if you're the child or the grandchild, it's time for you to do your research and leverage your options. Yeah, I get it. They're your parents or your grandparents, but they lived an amazing life. But you have about 60 or 70 legacy building years ahead of you as well. And it definitely would be an easier process if insurance policies were being recycled back into your family, rather than stressing and having to beg friends and family for funds. I know some people look at this and call you an opportunist, when the truth is insurance is wealth on sale, and you have an obligation to building the most fundamentally sound generational wealth transfer that you can to your children and your children's children. But just think about it. It's going to be pretty hard to do that is if you're going to work every day and every time you turn around, there's another surprise death inside of your family, but there is no properly structured insurance benefits coming in. Death is imminent, meaning that it's going to happen, but you don't know when. So it's better to be prepared for it across the board, being proactive instead of having to react all the time. You have to think about it like this. When someone leaves this earth, that means their contribution stops. And then you have to think about, well, who is replacing that contribution? Their bill sure isn't. If they were working, there really needs to be a qualified insurance policy in place to replace that income. At the end of the day, if more of us put life insurance higher up on our budget, like up there with mortgage, car note, and cell phone bill, so many of us wouldn't even be working right now. We would literally be running our own businesses because we have so many amazing, great ideas and we let them suffocate under our job simply because we don't have the funds to pour into them. And we'd be so stressed out wishing there was a way. That's the play other groups been running in this country for decades and we miss it every time. I love y'all. Peace.